Well, welcome back to Extraordinary Drummer. I'm your host, Cheron Moore, and I'm glad you could be here.
Oh yeah, we about to go. Oh my God, look at this. This is incredible. We got to go.
Not sure, sir.
Play to the camera, Doc. Play to the camera. All right, hang on. Look at this. Hey, we got to get the heck out of here.
All right, Mike, but you know what's important because you know what I can do with this.
I know what you can do with it. Push me.
I'm sorry, man.
He's begging for Cheron.
Say hi. Hey, say hi to the camera. Hey,
buddy.
I started playing drums at around the age of 10. I was about 10 years old. Prior to that, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, I was hitting on the sinks and, you know, whatever all the guys did, hitting on the table with the spoons, and I was always hitting something. What attracted me to drums in the beginning was the fascination of the different sounds I was hearing. From in the sink, from pots and pans, from just any surface I would hit. And I wanted to put them together. I wanted to put the sounds together. So that's what brought me towards drums. Right thereafter, of course, listening to all the songs. Some of the earlier songs I was listening to was Buddy Miles and Carlos Santana. That song, Them Changes, the live version. Phew. Buddy Miles in that pocket. Oh man, oh, my mind is going through the... That stuff was funky in them days. Of course, all of the Kool and the Gang stuff, and I'll talk about that later. That stuff was fascinating to me. All the funk stuff started to fascinate me. The Ohio Players, and I remember Funky Worm. You remember that? So the funk stuff started to get me because it wasn't as much dance stuff. This was early '60s, but early '60s I was still a kid. I was still in my formidable years, 4 or 5 years old. So by the time I got an understanding, 8, 9, 10, it was closer to the 70s, 68, 69, 70s. And that's when the funk started to, well, the funk was out, but the funk started to come, all the funk bands was in. So I guess I was about 10 years old. My favorite drummer as I was coming up, though, was actually George Brown, the original drummer from Kool and the Gang. I'm originally from New York City, Manhattan, Uptown. But I've lived in other places. Lived in Jersey City. A lot of my upbringing was in Jersey City. A lot of the family, a lot of the, when I say family, I mean the musician family, musicianship. A lot of the guys I grew up with in music is back there. So many guys I love and have shaped and made me in my life. Well, making a name for myself was interesting. I was still back east, and so it was more of let me get a drum kit and get to playing. I just worked with the Manhattans, doing sessions with them and different other things, just to, as I said, stay around drumming. But now I wanted to tour play, and so I played all over the place. Peppermint Lounge, and you remember that place, and just everywhere up and down the East Coast, and a little bit of touring, little spots here and that would get around, but there was other great drummers in town. Trust me, I wasn't needed, boy. And I just kind of did it that way. So that was the formidable years more so in Jersey. But the name came when I got to LA. When I moved to Los Angeles, first thing I did was, as a drummer, I took stock of everything. I made the rounds around town and looked at all the guys and whatnot, and one of the first things I did is I noticed that I didn't want to be like everybody else. I didn't like the scene, so to speak. It was a lot of the same thing. It was more of flair and flash, and I was coming from New York, and so that was more from your guts, more rawr, that kind of stuff. And LA was more of a flair. How you doing, baby? What's going on? And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I rented some rehearsal space. I had 15 bucks, and I rented some rehearsal space, and had a VHS camera, rented that, and made a little video, a little demo video. I hope I can show that to you. It's on VHS, by the way. And I started shopping that around, but I knew I wanted to do it my way. That was the main thing. I knew I didn't want to be like anyone else, because I didn't want to keep up with the Joneses. I just put my head down and started plowing away. You know what I mean? I hung my picture everywhere, in Roscoe's and cleaners and restaurants. Anywhere I could stick my face and my picture and my name some kind of way, I did it. And I told everybody about me playing. So that's the first thing I did. I think I got settled. I just made the rounds, made a decision I wanted to be myself and do it my way, and as I said, made the rounds, put my name everywhere, and that was it. That's the first thing I did.
tried so hard to forget you. You know I played all over town. All over. But when I saw you last night with you know who, that's when my love for you came tumbling down. You found you another love, and I'm so sad and blue. Oh, baby, I just keep crying. I'm so unhappy. I'm crying because I'm still in love with you. Hey, 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 nobody but you, baby. You better believe it, girl.
How did I get the gig with Dr. Dre? I used to hang out at this jazz club on Cahuenga Boulevard in Hollywood called Catalina's, that's it, jazz club. They're now on Sunset. And across the street I used to see, in this office building, big office building, I used to see a lot of musicians and rappers always going in there. So I made a conscious decision that one day I'm going to go in there. You know, keeping in mind when it comes to rap music, and back in those days, not as much today, but back in those days, you know, it was really gang oriented. So you just didn't walk into a camp. You had to be escorted, invited, already have been told that you're going to come. You got to walk in with someone. You just hi. But being from New York, that's how we did it, right? So finally one day I said, you know what, now's the time to go over there. And I went over there. The security guard was really kind. A lot of stories about this building. I could tell you so much about my experiences. Not just at that time, but later on in that building. But the security guard was kind, let me rap to him, let me go upstairs, and everything was on the second floor, studio. And I went upstairs, and as I got out the elevator, this one guy came over and said, yo, what's up? Can I help you out? What's happening? You know, can I help you? What do you want? And I should say that guy was Warren G, the rapper Warren G, but that's somebody. It was Warren G, good brother, good brother. Just saw him recently at Snoop's getting a star on the Walk of Fame. Same Warren too, changed numbers of the whole nine. And so he says, what's happening with you, blah, blah. I says, my name is Cheron, I'm a drummer. And I gave him my card. He said, Cheron, a drummer, like that. Now inside of me, I wanted to be tough, like these guys is pretty rough, right? So I wanted to be bad like them, but I wanted to go, hey, I ain't stutter. Did you hear me stutter? But then the Holy Spirit showed up. Holy Spirit said, boy, if you want to get out here in one piece and quick, alive, you need to answer that question, get out of here. Okay, so I didn't get tough, okay? So I said, yeah, my name is Cheron, I'm a drummer, here's my card if I ever could be of any help. And he said, drummer, huh, drummer? And I hope Warren would say this story the same way. So he got on the phone. Back in them days, they had beepers. So beepers had codes. And I guess he got on the phone and he paged Dre. And I guess he put the code in to call me right back. And he got on the phone and, Dre, I got this boy here, this guy here who says he's a drummer. What you want me to do with him? And did he put me on the phone with Dre? I think he did. He put me on the phone with Dre. Yeah, and Dre said he's going to invite me up to his house within a few days or so. So so I got out of there. But I would tell you something, it was hot, man. It's the talent in them days. Shh, I'll talk about that in a second. It was talented, man. Rage, Jewel, Corrupt, Dad's Diligent. I mean, the family was a no joke, man. It was tough. Talented. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. And he put me on the phone with Dre. Dre invited me up to the house. He called me about a week and a half to 2 weeks later. I was laying in the bed. I just had gotten over the flu and had got some food poisoning because I was trying to learn how to cook at the same time. And I was sick. I was sick as a dog. I was sick, man. And Dre said, yo, can you be at the studio in 1 hour? And I pulled the phone back and I was like, man, I ain't paid a drum kit in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, week and a half. Probably a little bit rusty and sick as a dog. I didn't say that to him, I was just saying it to myself. And then the Holy Spirit kicked back in and said, what? What, boy? So I said, yeah, I'll be there. Packed the drums, had an old raggedy station wagon, old Bessie. Put the drums in, got to the studio, and I didn't know it then, but he was working on the Chronic and played the song. I played on the song, The Roach. Make my butt the Chronic, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's me playing a lot of drums on that. And to make a long story short, became friends and did a lot of work after that. And just love him to the day. I just saw him recently up at the Snoop's getting his star on Hollywood Boulevard, and it was just cool seeing him. He said, hey, Cheron, what's up, James? You still playing drums? He's always saying that to whatever. It's the first thing he says, you still playing drums? And I always brush it off like, drums, man, drums. So, but one day when he asked me, I said, yeah. Okay, no, yeah. You don't tell a billionaire no, do you? Love those guys, man. Really love them. They're good people, man. And that's how I met Dre. Rest is history.
Right now it's time to chill to the next episode from the city of Compton. Here's Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, your dog.
Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Before I have to pull the strap out the cut.
Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G thing. Two low down G's, so it Death Row is the label that I'm unfavorable, so please don't try to fake it. But back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let them understand from a young G's perspective. And before me thinking a trick, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man, and at the same time burning her man. And when she burning him, chill for a minute, cause ain't no woman good enough to get her while I'm a minute. Yeah. And that's realer than real deal, how you feel? And now you hookers in the whole flow, have a feel. Well, if it's good enough to give her up a proper chunk, I have a small piece of some of them. Come on. It's like this and like that and like this, and it's like that and like this and like that, and it's like this and like that and like this, and Dre quick to the mic like a fan.
Well, I'm peeping and I'm creeping and I'm creeping, but I damn near got caught, cause my people kept peeping. Now it's time for me to make my impression felt. So sit back, relax, and strap on your seatbelt. You never been on a ride like this before. With a producer who can rap and control the maestro. At the same time, with the dope rhyme that I kick, you know and I know I feel some old funky shit. To add to my collection, this selection symbolizes dope. Take a talk, but don't choke. If you do, you have no clue of what me and the homie Snoop Dogg
check it out. It's like this and like that and like this, and it's like that and like this and like that, and it's like this.
And we ain't got no love for dogs.
So just chill to the next episode.
Oh yeah. Rock the other side and stay alive.
Falling back on that ass, what a hell of fight gangsta lean. Getting funky on the mic like an old batch of collard greens. It's the capital S, so yes, I'm fresh and double OP. D-Go double G, Y, D-Go double G, you see? Showing much flex when it's time to wreck a mic. Pippin', holding, clacking a grip like my name was Dynamite. Yeah, and you don't quit. I think they in the move for another one of those G hits. So Dre,
what up, dog?
We gotta give them what they want.
What's that, G?
We gotta break them off something.
Yeah.
And it's gotta be bumpin'. City of Compton.
It's where it takes place, so I ask your attention. Mobbing with the dog pound.
Wow, wow, wow.
Dropping the funky truckers, making the suckers just rumble. When I'm on the mic, it's like a cookie, they all crumble. Try to get close, so you're bound to get smacked. My little homie Snoop Doggy Dogg has got my back. Never let me slip, cause if I slip, then I'm slipping. But if I got my Nina, then you know I'm straight tripping. Coming to you to put the raps down, put the Mac down. And if your woman wanna trip, I have to put the smack down. Yeah, and you don't stop. I told you I'm just like a clock when I tick and I top.
But I'm never off, always on to the break of dawn.
C-O-M-P-T-O-N.
In the city they call Long Beach, putting it straight together like my homie D.O.C. No one can do it better like this, that and this, and it's like that and like this and like that, and it's like this,
and we ain't got no love for them.
So just chill to the next episode.
much afraid to work on death row. I first met Shook when he came into the studio after the session, after my session. That was the first time I seen him. Thereafter, I seen him up at Death Row Record Company quite a few times, being in meetings and things like that. Mostly meetings that concern drummer stuff. But the one time that I was around him, that I kind of goofed up a little bit, but I caught it, right? We had just finished taping. I'll put a video of it. The MTV Movie Awards. The first one with Eddie Murphy. The first one we did, the first show of MTV Movie Awards was us doing it. And after the taping, the staff had led us to a press room. And the press room was sweet, man. It was wall-to-wall cameras. You didn't even see people. You just saw like a wall of cameras. And it's turn here, turn here, turn there. That's kind of digging. It's like, hey, ain't got no money, but I'm up in here. And so, as I'm going into the press room, I had my towel, still had my towel on me, and I hand my towel to this guy that was standing at the door. I handed my towel and I went in. And as I'm walking in, I'm looking back over my shoulder like this, and I could see one of the Dogg Pound. I think it was Daz, because him and Corrupt was always together. But I think it was Daz that was sitting on an anvil case a few feet away from me, and he gave me a look like that, like, boy, you know what you just did? And I thought about it, and I looked back, and that was Suge that I gave the towel to. So I stepped back and went back. I said, excuse me, let me have that back. Yeah, let me have that. I took the towel back. But right to this day, I still laugh about that. I handed the CEO of the company my towel. Not, wanting to, but by accident, So that was another time that I got to meet him. No, I was never afraid of playing up there. Like I said, in those days, those were the formidable years of Death Row. After working at Death Row with Dr. Dre and Snoop and all the guys, I went, kept playing drums, but I expanded my, my playing, expanded my work. I started doing a lot of commercials and TV and movies and videos and, just all of that stuff. I even did a fashion where they would call me to do a fashion shoot. Remember that time the man from the Mint called me, his name was Jed. Cheron, can you do a fashion shoot? I'm like, a fashion shoot guy, but they needed a drummer to sit in the picture, and I was showing up there, and I got a copy of that magazine later on. I had it for about 10 minutes. I don't know what I did with it, but never was one of them guys that carry all that stuff throughout life. I usually lost it or gave it away or something, but I just don't have a lot of that stuff left. Lost a lot of it in the studio a couple of times, but yeah, so I started doing a lot of that, commercial stuff, a lot of movies, a lot of videos. Just a ton of them, and I'll put some of them up so you can see. And I say to drummers, do that. Get yourself a manager, get yourself an agent, a theatrical agent. Get yourself a PR person. It's a little different now than it was then. You literally had those people to do it for you, but we didn't have the internet in those days. We certainly didn't have this cut and paste and all this stuff. Cut and paste was real. You went to Kinko's and you had a glue stick and you cut out a note and it looked like a ransom letter. And that was your flyers back in those days. And I miss the flyers. Flyers gave us a chance to be one-on-one with the public and say hello and come to the show and meet people. People have 3 million followers these days and only know 3 of them. And 12 of them show up to the show, at least when you're trying to make it. So I'm kind of weird, not weird, but I'm going to talk about that again later. But yeah, that's what I did. I got out and started doing all of that.
Yes, only 10 years old already. He's an accomplished blues harmonica player, plays regularly at B.B. King's Blues Club right around the corner here. He's now to play The Thrill Is Gone. Please welcome Brody Buster.
Jolly Christmas with Jenny, next on NBC.
Man, where were you two? We've been waiting for 10 minutes.
Hey, give us a break. We got lost. There's like a ton of weddings in this place.
Yeah, we figured we were at the wrong one when they started yelling at us in Farsi to cover our faces.
Hey, did we miss the ceremony? This looks like the reception.
No, this is the pre-wedding cocktail hour.
You mean this is the thing before the thing? If this is the thing before the thing, I can't wait to see the thing.
What about the thing after the thing?
That's going to be something.
Stop saying thing.
Listen, we have to interview wedding guests for the video, so while we're setting up, you go find people and bring them over.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Did he just say go find free food in men?
That's what I heard. Hey, Jenny, you know my fantasy wedding? The one in my parents' backyard under the rose-covered trellis, and I'm wearing my grandmother's wedding dress and my father's giving me away?
Yeah, that's so romantic.
Yeah, well, dump that. I want this. And you know what else? I even want these guests.
Oh, look! There's an ice sculpture of two swans kissing. Oh, and their necks make a little heart.
Oh, no, I forgot how sappy you get at weddings.
I don't get that sappy.
Oh, yeah? You cried at my brother's wedding, and he got married at the dog track.
Well, I can't help it. When I see...
I'm a jazz purist who likes to two-step. I'm a country dancer who lives the vaporized cyborg. I'm a gamer who loves wildlife photography. I'm a photo buff who reads Hot Rod mags. And I get it all at Virgin Megastore.
Virgin Megastore. Music, movies, books, software. Something for all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your mitts together for Stash Kibbitz und the Kibbeton. And a special thank you to Anna Burke-Chang for her sweet and sour Wiener Schnitzel. Now, I know we're all itching to poker till we plot. But first, it's time to announce this year's King Poker. Past winners of this prestigious award have been none other than Herman Mueller, Ralph Hunsberger, and Tony Dancer. But this year, I think it's fair to say the award goes to the King Poker of the decade. The only one to win unanimously. Stephen Q. Urkel.
Oh, gee, this is an incredible honor. Oh, I just love being here with all my poker pals. But what makes it extra special is that tonight I'm here with the love of my life, Laura Winslow. Laura, take a bath.
Come and see. Dance with your sweetie.
Laura, may I have these things?
Steve, I don't know how to poker.
Just follow my lead
Let's talk about endorsements. Endorsements is nothing to play with. I had quite a few of them. When I started playing, I counted 54 endorsements, and I'm going to tell you why so many in a second. I'd gotten up to probably 64, but I cut back. The reason I cut back to 54 was don't just take endorsements because they're giving it to you. Don't just take endorsements because you can get it. You know what we used to call that? A hoe. I'm sorry to say it, but that's what the drummers used to call. He a hoe. he just want anything. Just go to NAM and take anything. No, take something that you can stand behind in. Take equipment that, you know, playing on it gets you 50%. It's the equipment that's the other 50%. So when you get out in these endorsements in NAM, endorse stuff you believe in. Endorse stuff that makes your playing better. Endorse stuff that you believe in the company. And even get to know the founder. Don't just get to know the A&R guy. A lot of the guys I knew are long gone. Herb and all of these, Vic Further. A lot of the founders I knew are gone, but some of the kids are there, some of the staff. So again, I say, only take an endorsement if you believe in it. Only take an endorsement if it makes your playing better. Don't just take it because it's free, because nothing is never free. Somebody give you free food, you're gonna put on weight. Somebody give you free equipment, you're gonna have a bunch of stuff up on the riser that you don't need and not gonna play, and probably won't even have room enough for it anyway. Okay? Don't be a hoe out there, guys. Come on now. Take an endorsement you believe in and you truly need it. All right? Endorsement. Word of advice. Section of the show where we always do. This one kind of interesting. Word of advice to the young drummers out there coming up. I always ask the guys on the show I'll talk about in a second. Extraordinary Drummer. Love that show. It's a fun show. I'll tell you how it came about and some of the things that we got coming up. But word of advice from me, drumming, man. Drumming is really a beautiful thing. It's really a great thing. It's a different instrument. It's not melodic with chords and things. It's rhythm. And rhythm is, you see, the difference between rhythm and melodic is you can't dance to melodic by itself. You ever tried to just dance to a piano by itself or bass by itself? You can, but if the beat don't come in, what do you have? You don't have a foundation. You don't have something that make it bounce. Look at that, see that? Guys ain't playing like that no more. Guys playing like this. They ain't playing like this no more. That's true. So drumming gives you a chance to bounce to music, to make people dance, literally dance. Jonathan Moffett made Michael Jackson dance. Mike couldn't dance with no other drummer but Jonathan. 30-something years, he told me. James Brown with Jabbo and those guys. Years and years, Drummers make a difference, and respect the art, guys. Another thing about drumming, I'll talk about it, the difference between grooving and pocket and blazers. I love you blazers, but let's talk a minute. Word of advice. Pocket drumming, this is pocket, boom. It's not necessarily this beat, but it's boom, pa, boom, ah, boom, ah, boom. That's pocket. You're just holding it. You're just staying straight. You're staying home. You're holding it. With pocket, guys, everybody get to play. You play as a unit. You play as a group. It's not busy. People can dance. You can move forward. Even if you playing fusion and people sitting at tables watching, listening to theory and all this other deep stuff, it still incorporates more music. If I had a choice between playing fusion and playing pocket, I play pocket. Because I can always put fusion in pocket. See, but pocket is too straight for fusion. So let's talk about fusion. Let's talk about the blazers. The blazers are playing outside in. We couldn't play like that while we was coming up because we get fired, man. The minute you got off a boom, pa, boom, a little roll, a little pickup or something, and get up, boy, Tony, sit down. That's the way it was in those days. If you look at my credits, I wasn't playing through all that stuff. All my credits says pocket, and it says diversity. You have to know a lot of different kinds of music. Okay, so word of advice: the blazers are playing outside in, meaning they're playing into the drums. Pocket is playing ba pa ba, which is inside out. Now, think about the blazers. I love you guys. I know a lot of you have been on my show. A lot of you are going to be on my show. I hope. A lot of you are going to be on the show. I shouldn't tell you this, but blazing is interesting. It's great. You're young. You're pushing the kit. You're cutting down the trails and cutting down weeds and making paths, and you're just blazing. You're just going for it. But here's the downside, guy, and I shouldn't tell you this. My buddy over at Modern Drummer, Wim Miller, rest in peace, love Bill. People knew him as Bill Miller or Wim Miller. He used to tell me, Cheron, man, come on. Don't say that, man. You're going to kill the art of drumming. But the blazers, hey guys, here's the secret to blazing. If you never learn how to groove and just stay home and just stay straight, you're not going to work when you get older, guys. You're just not. You're not going to work. I can tell you what it's like, you know, when you get older, 50, 60, 40-ish, 60. I shouldn't tell you that because you don't tell young kids certain things. You got to let them live. Let them blaze. Let them, you know, yeah. But here's the problem, guys. When you get older, your body is not going to be able to do what your mind is telling it. And I can think of a few guys right now that do clinics and shows, and there's a house full of people waiting to see the drummer get off. Thinking, I'm not going to say any names, but waiting the drummer to do a great, and he does one or two the whole night. And they go, ah, and then they just sitting around waiting. Not even listening to the music, just wait for them to go off. Guys, when you get older, you're not going to be able to do that. Because your body is not going to be able to do what your mind wants it to do. It's a physical thing. Now, the other side of it is, you're not going to be able to work. Because why? You never learn how to groove. How to just stay home. How to just let other people fill in holes. So my word of advice, especially to the blazers, I'm not saying you guys grooving, man. You guys can't stay straight for 2 seconds. You guys, a lot of guys don't say this, but they say it to me, but they don't say it. So I will say it. You know, a lot of guys, man, you know, you guys, you got to learn how to groove while you're learning all those crazy. I can think of a million names right now, too. But learn how to groove, man. Learn how to stay straight for a long time. Boo, ah, boo, ah, boo, ah. Just stay there. There's some great ones at it, man. Nobody does it like Calhoun. Nobody does it like just, I tell you a guy who does it, and plus can play the busy, Robin Russell. One of the best at it. But one of the best at pocket, man. Len Richards. I mean, there's some guys out there that really got it. Zorro. Herman Mathis. Oh, man. That's real pocket. Mike Newble. These guys know what it's like to play. We call it meat and potatoes. That's it. Boom. Got. Staying right home. Stuff feels good, sound good. Leave holes for a lot of other people. That's my word of advice, guys. Go ahead and be busy. Go ahead and be young. Go ahead and blaze. Play all over the kit. Have a great time. But think about, what is the real functionality of a drum kit? What is a drum kit really supposed to be doing? Are you playing with other people, or are you just playing inside your head? Guys, this is how we played, and then I'll get off this. This is how we played. Boo, ah, boo, ah. But in our heads, we was going, boo, ah, you see? But we kept it in our head. So we didn't muck up the playing area, the work area. We didn't get fired. We didn't, although busy. Just think about it, okay? Stay as you are. It's a great thing to watch. It's great musically, and a lot of the people in your generation want it and aspire to have it, and you gotta have it in your playing these days. But my whole thing is, can you do it when you get older? And you never learn how to groove. See, I see a lot of these young guys. You guys not grooving, man. You guys not grooving. You're not holding. It's not fat. I go to some of the major concerts, and I sit right under that riser. I'll sit by the board. I'll sit somewhere, and I'm listening, and I'm going, there's no collard greens and bacon in this stuff. There's no chitlin juice. You know, there's no ham hocks up under there. Ain't nothing up under there. Ain't nothing up under there. Ain't no stuff under it. Because everything is on the top. Word of the day, learn to groove. That's the purpose of a drum kit. Is to groove and play with other people. Alright? I love you. That's my word of advice. Thank you so much for coming up, Extraordinary Drummer. I want to tell you too how I came up with this. People say, what are you doing today? So I retired from drums 7-8 years ago, and lately I've been doing my own talk show. Remember I said hosting, I wanted to get back to it. So in the last so many years, a few years, I've been able to get back to hosting. It's kind of deep too. It's a different transition in drumming, you know, but it's going well. A lot of people are seeing my shows. It's called the Cheron Moore Show. It's a subsidiary of the Cheron Moore Show. And this show is called Extraordinary Drummers. And the reason, Extraordinary Drummers came about was, so I retired from drums, But I wanted to still be around the drummers. I still wanted to stay in touch with drummers. And so hosting, why not do a show and do the show about drummers? It keeps me around drummers. But the difference now, where a lot of these guys are my friends and I've known them for 25, 30 years, this show gives me a chance to understand them as musicians, as people, to understand their thinking. When you're a drummer and they're a drummer, it's your competitor, it's your brother, it's brotherhood, but it's still, you know, that competitive edge there where, your players. I should talk about that. Some of these guys, boy, they love you, give you a hug. Don't put no sticks in their hand. Take all that food off your table. But I wanted to do the drum show to stay in touch with the drummers. And that's what it's afforded me to do, to stay in touch with the guys, to give you a chance to meet the drummers up close. Not just the chops and the mechanics and the great licks and drum kit, but that you also get a chance to meet the person. And that's how Extraordinary Drummer came about. Thanks for asking. In closing, I want to say thank you to so many amazing people along the way of my life, careers I've had, and even going forth. You know who you are. I wouldn't be doing this video without you. I thank you. I love you. From Extraordinary Drummer. Like I always say to everybody, help us wave goodbye. See you again. Bye-bye. Love you.
Teena Marie.
Teena, it is so good to see you. First of all, I just want to say that I have been one of your biggest fans, so it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Your new CD, can you tell us a little bit about the overall style of this, the CD? Come back in a little while and do another song for us.
Thank you.
I can't wait. Anyways, come on, you guys, give it up for Teena Marie.